Hi again, guys. This is the second part of my judgment sermon. The defiled can observe Passover later. The defiled can observe Passover later. And there were certain men and women who were defiled by a dead body of a man or a woman, that they could not keep the Passover on that day. And they came before Moses and before Aaron on that day. And those men said unto him, We are defiled by the dead body of a man. Wherefore are we kept back, that we may not offer the offering of the Lord in his appointed season among the faithful? And Moses said unto them, Stand still, and I will hear what the Lord will command concerning you. And the Lord spake unto Moses, speaking unto the faithful, saying, If any man of you or your your posterity, if any man of you or of your posterity, I need to say that properly. If any man of you, if any woman of you, or of your posterity, shall be unclean by reason of a dead body. If any man or woman of you, or of your posterity, shall be unclean by reason of a dead body, or be in journey afar off, yet shall keep the Passover unto the Lord. The 14th day of the 2nd month, at even they shall keep it, and eat it with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. They shall leave none of it unto the morning, nor break any bone of it, according to all the ordinances of the Passover. They shall keep it. But the man that is clean, and is not in a journey, and forbeareth to keep the Passover, even the same soul, shall be cut off from among his people. Because the Lord, he brought not the offering of the Lord in his appointed season, that man shall bear his sin, that man or woman shall bear his sin. And if a stranger shall sojourn among you, and if a stranger shall sojourn among you, and will keep the Passover unto the Lord according the ordinance of the Passover, and according to the manner thereof, so shall he do. Ye shall have one ordinance, both for the stranger, for him that was born in the land. The cloud by day and fire by night. And on the day that the tabernacle was reared up, the cloud covered the tabernacle, namely the tent of the testimony, and even there was upon the tabernacle, as it were, the appearance of fire, until the morning. So it was always, the cloud covered it by day, and of the appearance of fire by night. Okay, then. The people complained. Judgment. And when the people complained, it displeased the Lord. And the Lord heard it. And his anger was kindled. And the fire of the Lord burnt among them, and consumed them that were in the uttermost parts of the camp. And the people cried unto Moses. And the people cried unto Moses. And when Moses prayed unto the Lord, the fire was quenched. And when Moses prayed unto the Lord, or in this case me, prayed unto the Lord, the fire was quenched. So if you are complaining about the Lord, let it be quenched in the spirit, in the mind, in the soul, and in everything. In everything that is good, everything that is holy, everything that is right. Okay. And he called the name of the place Taberah, because the fire of the Lord burnt among them. Because the fire of the Lord burnt among them, and the mixed multitude that was among them fell a-lusting. And the faithful also wept again, and said, Who shall give us flesh to eat? I will not give you flesh to eat. I will give you something more divine than that. I will give you of the faith. I will give you good offerings, good meat, good fish, things that will only help to uplift you, to make you better, make you holier within your life. We remember the fish which we did eat in Egypt freely, the cucumbers, the melons, the leeks, the onions, and the garlic. But now our soul is dried away. There is nothing at all beside this manna before our eyes, and the manna was a coriander seed, and the colour thereof as the colour of bdellium. And the people went about and gathered it, and ground it in mills, or beat it in a mortar, and baked it in pans, and made cakes of it. And the taste of it was as the taste of fresh oil. And when the dew fell upon the camp in the night, the manna fell upon. And when the dew fell upon the camp in the night, the manna fell upon. Moses complains to God. Then Moses heard the people weep throughout their families, every man in the door of his tent. And the anger of the Lord was kindled greatly. And the anger of the Lord was then kindled greatly. Moses also was displeased. And Moses said unto the Lord, Wherefore hast thou afflicted thy servant? I will not. I love you too much. I will not do this unto you. And wherefore have I not found favour in thy sight, that thou layest the burden of all this people upon me? Yes, yes, you have, and I shall, and the burden shall be gone with the wind, as you shall never go to the evil one, as I love you so much. Have I conceived all this people? No, they are of me, and because they are of you, they are of me. Thank you for being of me, and making me your priority, and being such a holy Lamb of God. Have I begotten them, that thou shouldest say unto me, Carry them in thy bosom, as a nursing father beareth the sucking child, when the land which thou swarest unto their fathers? My son, all will be well. I will love them as I will love you. I will love them as I will love you, and I will not be unkind to them. For they are yours, for they are mine. Your congregation I will forgive. Your congregation I will forgive. Whence should I have flesh to give unto all this people? Whence should I have flesh to give to all these people? For they weep unto me, saying, Give us flesh, that we may eat. I am not able to bear all this people alone, because it is too heavy for me. And if thou deal thus with me, kill me. I pray thee out of hand, if I found favour in thy sight, and let me see not my wretchedness. You are not wretched, you are not weak. You have favour in my sight. You will always have favour in my sight, and so will your congregation, as they are of you, and you are of me. God bless you all. I love you all. And that was the Lord speaking through me then. Elders appointed to help Moses. And the Lord said unto Moses, Gather unto me 70 men of the elders of Israel, whom thou knowest to be the elders of the people, and the officers over them, and bring them unto the tabernacle of the congregation, that they may stand there with thee. And I will come down and talk with thee there, and I will take of the Spirit which is upon thee, and will put it upon them, and they shall bear the burden of the people with thee, that thou bear it not thyself alone. And say thou unto the people, Sanctify yourselves against tomorrow, and ye shall eat flesh. For ye have wept in the ears of the Lord, saying, Who shall give us flesh to eat? And the Lord has commanded. For it was well with us in Egypt. Therefore the Lord will give you flesh, and ye shall eat. Ye shall not eat 1 day, nor 2 days, nor 5 days, neither 10 days, nor 20 days, but even a whole month, until it come out of your nostrils, and it be loathsome unto you, because that ye have been despised the Lord which is among you, and has wept before him, saying, Why came we forth out of Egypt? You came forth out of Egypt so I could bless your people. Moses questions God. And Moses said, The people among whom I am are 600,000 footmen. And thou hast said, I will give them all flesh, that they may eat a whole month. Shall the flocks and the herds be slain for them, to suffice them? No, my son, they do not need to be slain. I love them too, as I love you, and I love your flock. Or shall all the fish of the sea be gathered together for them to suffice them? No, my son, this is not needed either. I love you all, this is not necessary. And the Lord said unto Moses, Is the Lord's hand waxed short? I am never waxed short, not where you are concerned. I love you, my son, and I love your congregation. Thou shalt see now whether my word shall come to pass unto thee or not. Thou shalt see now whether my word shall come to pass or not. God's Spirit rests on elders. And Moses went out and told the people the words of the Lord, and gathered the 70 men of the elders of the people, and set them round about the tabernacle. And the Lord came down in a cloud, and spake unto him, and took of the Spirit that was upon him, and gave it unto the 70 elders. And it came to pass that when the Spirit rested upon them, they prophesied and did not cease. But there remained 2 of the men in the camp. The name of the one was Eldad, and the name of the other Medad, and the Spirit rested upon them, and they were of them that were written, but went not out into the tabernacle, and they prophesied in the camp. And there ran a young man, and told Moses, and said, Eldad and Medad do prophecy in the camp. And Joshua the son of Nun, a servant of Moses, one of his young men, answered and said, My lord Moses, forbid them. And Moses said, Enviest thou for my sake? I do not envious anyone for your sake, my son, yet I do love them all. Would God that all the Lord's people were prophets, and that the Lord would put his Spirit upon them. Would God that all the Lord's people were prophets, and that the Lord would put his Spirit upon them. And Moses gat into the camp, and he and the elders of Israel. Okay. Enviest thou for my sake? Why do you ask me this again? You know the answer. Enviest thou for my sake? Why do you ask me yet again? You know the answer. God really is working through me. Freaky. God's anger toward Miriam and Aaron. And Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married, for he had married an Ethiopian woman. And they said, Hath the Lord indeed spoken only by Moses? No, I have not spoken only through Moses. I have spoken through you, as through many others. And this will continue throughout time and throughout the rest of existence. Hath he not spoken also by us? Yes, yes, I have. And the Lord heard it. Now the man Moses was very meek above all the men which were upon the face of the earth. And the Lord spake suddenly unto Moses, and unto Aaron, and unto Miriam, Come out, ye 3, unto the tabernacle of the congregation. And they 3 come out. And the Lord came down in the pillar of a cloud, and stood in the door of the tabernacle, and called Aaron and Miriam forth. And he said, Hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I the Lord will make myself known unto him. If there be a prophet among you, I the Lord will make myself known unto him in a vision, and will speak unto him in a dream, My servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all mine house. My servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all mine house. With him I will speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, and not in the dark speeches, and similitude of the Lord shall behold. Wherefore then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? No, yet ye should be, as in reality he is of me, and I am of him. Wherefore then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? No, no one shall be, and no one shall be afraid to speak against you either. Yet they should be, for the judgment of my hand shall be upon them, and it shall be my righteous right hand that will smite them if they say anything against you, or against Moses, or against any of my prophets. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against them, and he departed. Swear unto them, therefore he hath slain them in the wilderness. And now I beseech thee, that the power of the Lord, of my Lord, be great, according as thou hast spoken, saying, the Lord is long-suffering, and of great mercy, forgiving iniquity and transgression, and by no means clearing the guilt, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation. I overstepped it again. I've overstepped it. Yep, I've overstepped it. Yep, I overstepped it. I went back. Typical. Okay then. Well, maybe the Lord was trying to make a point now. I think the Lord was definitely trying to make a point now. Okay then. This was the other part of my judgment sermon. I hope you enjoyed. God bless you all. Bye.